Hello, and welcome to episode 41 of the Player 3 podcast. I'm your host, Luke Croft, and alongside me, we have the always visually stunning Larry Hunt.
Hello.
And alongside me on the other side, he can fix you a nice, delicious glass of Pepsi and steal your daughter's heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Martin.
Hello.
Where are we?
It appears we've been kidnapped.
It's really nice of them that they let us go live and do our show.
Yeah.
Gave us all this equipment. No, we are in my
It's-
new home.
It's one of those Stephen King, I'm your biggest fan situations.
Oh, so he's thrown us in here.
Yeah, and if we don't produce the content that he wants, we get our ankles broken with a sledgehammer.
Now, when you say content,
Yes.
Well, Lord.
I think Seth's picking up what I'm throwing down, and that's all that matters.
Misery. That's the name of that book.
Yeah.
I can't read, so.
There's a movie adaptation.
Oh,
That
interesting.
sledgehammer scene is rough to watch.
Does he get his knees broken with a sledgehammer?
Yes.
That sounds
She
like it
strapped-
really sucks.
He almost escaped, so she straps his legs to cinder blocks and just sledgehammers away.
Well, oh, he was a writer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, no, we are not in a dungeon. We are in my new home, which is in the process of becoming a grand set. And that'll be happening.
Grand Sith. That's how that's pronounced.
Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be Grand Seth. We will staple posters to him and all sorts of stuff. But so there's going to be some big changes coming to Player 3 Podcast here over the next couple months. I'm very excited about them. Are you excited, Seth?
Oh, I'm always excited.
Nice. I think, never mind. Anyway, we are the Player 3 Podcast. We get together every Monday to talk about video games and to talk about weird things that get Seth excited,
Everything.
like news coverage of natural disasters.
This is cream soda, by the way,
Oh, yes, not beer.
in case any of my employers are wondering.
But anyway, you can watch us here over on twitch.tv/player3podcast. If you didn't get the live stream, go to youtube.com/player3podcast. You can watch the video. And then after that, if you've missed it all in those places and you just want our voices, our sultry voices, well, Seth's sultry voice, to tickle your ear holes,
I'm gonna tickle you softly.
you can go find us on iTunes or Podbean or Stitcher or your favorite podcast service.
So does sultry mean creepy?
Yes. Yeah. Diz is over here. He's got his own desk now. I wish we could turn the camera so you could see it. He is looking super official over there.
Just imagine a nude,
Yeah, he doesn't have any clothes.
a nude white fella just hanging out by himself in the corner, typing on a computer, whatever. Tall,
I am almost 1,000% positive nobody can hear you.
tall table.
And then we have Gary over here. Hey, man! What's up, Gary? And Ben is having dinner with his dad. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
So after every jingle that you sing, Seth, we got to give a happy birthday shout out to Bruce Hankins. You thought he was dead that one time. And you-
I didn't think he was dead. I thought that there was a chance he could be dead,
that's
and that's all the difference.
that is the same exact thing.
There's a chance.
All right. Well, we're going to get this episode started like we get every episode started with the releases of the week.
Releases of the week. Clip, clip.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
All right. Releasing on both consoles this week, we have Zombie
Zombie.
without an E. So it may be Zombie. I don't know how to.
Is that pluralized?
Oh, Zombie.
I believe that's the original spelling of zombie.
Is it?
I may be wrong.
Do you know?
Like the Haitian, like, hey, you talk about the zombie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That sounded
on.
Jamaican to me.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Not really.
All right.
Haitian's more French.
Did
We-
you ask if Haitians and zombies were the same thing?
No, Jamaicans.
That's racist.
Oh.
That's
Jamaicans
racist.
and Haitians.
I was about to say Resident Evil got in trouble for something like that.
No, they didn't.
Wasn't it Resident Evil that was accused of being racist because all the enemies were black zombies in Africa?
Yes. Which
They came under a lot
makes
of
sense.
heat of-
Sorry.
But,
I misunderstood what you're saying. You're making a joke. I've ruined it, and I'll see myself off the show.
all right, welcome to the Player 3 podcast with Luke and Seth. Hey, I still need you to do the timestamps though. Anyway, Zombie, casting players as a series of survivors fighting to stay alive in a zombie-infested London. Zombie puts an emphasis on self-preservation, pushing players to distract or avoid zombies rather than confronting them directly.
I am intrigued by a series of survivors.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I guess you get one, and then if you
die.
fail, then you get another one. So I
that's
wonder if there's
kinda
like an
interesting.
achievement if you get through with your one guy.
Who made this game? Because it looks pretty. I mean, just from the screenshot on the drop, it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So let's
I'd
see.
play it if I had a PlayStation.
Oh no, it's coming out on both. We are in the both section right now. What? Are you aware that you are drinking Colombian coffee crystals?
What?
Oh, did this come out on the Wii U? Oh, is this the adaptation of the Wii U game?
Is it?
Yes, this is the adaptation of the Wii U game. I'm an idiot. Now, but see, the thing that made the Wii U game so intriguing was the use of the gamepad, and you had to look down to inspect bodies or to pick stuff up off the ground, and there may be a zombie marching towards you. And I wonder how that mechanic's going to work on the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little 6-axis action going on.
Do we have an idea of price on this game? Because I am thoroughly interested.
I am going to assume it is
60.
it is free. I'm just kidding. Oh, I accidentally. Hold on. I accidentally X'd out of everything. I'm not sure about the price of this game, actually. I can try to find out for you here in a moment.
I'm very excited. I want to play it. I want to be on it.
And then we have... Everything good over there, Dizzy? Oh, all right. Then we have Tales from the Borderlands, Episode 4 coming out. This is the Telltale series that has apparently been really, really good.
That's what I've heard. Anyone played that here?
I have not.
Diz?
Nah, Diz hasn't played. Diz, have you played Tales from the Borderlands? No, he has not.
Okay.
Gary, have you?
I ain't played it.
No, none of us have played it. And so that's everything that's released on both consoles. Moving on to the drop. That includes everything now. Screenshots. It includes descriptions. It's just we got a lot of good stuff going on. Ryan Clement's back on his game. That's right. All right, here we go. We have Adventures of Pip releasing. Adventures of Pip revitalizes the classic side-scrolling action platform genre. Are you kidding me? It revitalizes
a long dead genre that we haven't seen any games from in the last year. None. Zero.
In the last week. We have not seen them. Anyway, Pip, the ultimate digital underdog, is a lowly single pixel in a 32-bit world who proves that you can't judge a hero by the fidelity of his shaders. So is this the main character right here? This tiny little gray pixel, or is that it?
I think that red
That's
one
way
is.
more than 1 pixel.
Yeah. What a lie.
Yeah. Don't pick that game up. All right, Arcade Archives, Bomb Jack. Bomb Jack is an action game that was released by Tekken, Koei Tecmo Games. In 1984, players control Jack, a superhero who can leap and glide to collect all the bombs in the game stages.
Oh, man, leaping over those cool-looking pyramids, that looks fun.
Why would you want to collect the bombs?
Yeah, I'd try to get away from.
You're trying to
bombs.
save them from blowing up the pyramid and the
I don't
Sphinx.
care what they're going to blow up as long as they're not going to blow me up. I think that's the number one rule to bombs. As long as they don't blow me up, it's cool. It's not cool. I'm cooler with it, though.
Yeah, you're on a list.
Then we have The Bridge. The Bridge is a 2D logic puzzle game that forces the players to reevaluate their preconceptions of physics and perspective. It is Isaac Newton meets M.C. Escher. Manipulate gravity to redefine the ceiling as the floor while venturing through impossible architectures. This game is in black and white, apparently. This looks pretty cool, actually.
It
That's
looks
really
like it would
weird.
hurt my brain.
I'm just going to say it's top down, but it's different perspectives. That looks very, very cool. Very cool. Then we have a Color Guardians demo, an action-packed game with a whole spectrum of tricky obstacles, vibrant worlds, and dangerous hazards. Enjoy a new adventure across 70 levels on both PS4 and PS Vita and swap your own colors as you try to restore life to the world.
To the world.
And then also on PS4, we have Curses and Chaos. In this 2D arena brawler world, revitalizing the 2D genre. I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that. There is only one law, fight or die. The Wizard King has cursed Leah and Leo, the fiercest fighters in the land. Now living under the shadow of death, they are hounded by ghouls and hunted by the Grim Reaper itself.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like how they don't genderize the Grim Reaper. It's very progressive of them.
Yes.
It's traditionally a male role.
Can we just take a pause for a second and talk about that article you sent me, Larry, about Target?
Yes.
Walk us through this, because this is wonderful.
All right, welcome to Political 3 Podcast.
I'm going to
Crossfire.
forget this guy's name. That's okay. His real name isn't important, much like Batman's real name isn't important. All you got to know is his mask. So, Target took the gender away from their aisles, their toy aisles. And lots of people were upset about this, and they took to Target's Facebook page to express their frustration. Well, one pioneering gentleman created a profile called Ask for Help and made his icon the Target logo and got on and began responding to the complaints.
Oh.
Like one woman's like, "You'll never get any of my business again." And he's like, "Well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Have a good day."
Oh, it's okay. We'll just deal with it. Producer Diz over there being awesome. Is it behind or before? There's an audio sync issue that we're having with the video. He's looking very intently. He's also very attractive. Okay, the video. Okay, I can fix that later. All right. But yeah, he sent me this story, and I was in Lowe's on an 1.5-hour trip to Lowe's, just rolling laughing.
An hour and a half.
It was horrible. I don't want to talk about it.
Dig up the article, just read through all these quotes. It'll take you a long time, but it's worth every glorious moment.
All right.
One guy goes on this rant. I've screenshotted what you said, and I'm sending it to corporate. And the guy's like, "No, Joey, please. It's my first day. I don't know how to handle all this stress."
Moving on. We have Gianna Sisters, Dream Runners. Run and jump, dash and smash, daze and teleport, morph and cannon. Oh, you get the idea. Mess with your opponents. The game pits up to 4 players or AI opponents against each other in local and online competition.
That's one of those things where Luke forgot how to read again. You big dummy.
It's called a mini stroke, Seth,
I don't mean
and
that.
they happen to the best of us.
Ouch.
And then we have Helldivers Super Earth Ultimate Edition. The Super Earth Ultimate Edition includes the full game, Masters of the Galaxy, and Turning Up the Heat expansions, 11 DLC packs, a bonus weapons pack, and a PS4 dynamic theme. This is a hardcore cooperative twin-stick shooter from the creators of Magicka. This game was awesome. I play it on my Vita all the time. And I haven't done any of the DLC, but it's worth it if you enjoy this game. It's really good. Then here you go, Larry. Pure Hold'em. Starting at the Joker's table, on the floor of the vibrant casino, work your way up to esteemed aces and masters tables in the VIP penthouse. Buy your way into a game with earned credits, play your blinds, and go all in. Whatever it takes to steal the pot and win the game.
They stealing pot up in here?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crime.
I think we all recall that I am the greatest poker player in the room.
Did you win the milkshakes that time too? I thought I won the milkshakes that time.
I was the first person out.
Oh, I thought Seth was the first person
place.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, it's like golf in a sense. That mostly white people play. And then we don't have anything releasing exclusively on the Xbox One as far as I know. I'm sure we do. What? Oh,
I think he just heard that white people joke.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah. He's really good at poker. Anyway, so those are your releases of the week.
Releases of the week. Clap, clap.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
So you're so reluctant to give
Thank
joy
you.
to other people's lives.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Gary.
Shut up, Gary.
You shut your mouth right now, jabroni. All right. Let's see. We are going to move on now to the news.
News with the podcast guys. Oh,
Happy birthday, Bruce.
happy birthday, Bruce.
Birthday, Bruce.
So a new feature got announced last week. I don't know if we talked about this on the show last week. Last week's show was a blur. There was many things going on in that show. Lots of movement. You had to poop in the middle of it.
A live
Not,
baby.
in, not
Alive
in the
baby.
middle. It was at the end. I've been holding in the whole thing. Sometimes you just got to explode, and that's what I did.
That's the whole reason I had to move. I had to buy this house because of what you did in there.
Rest in peace, Parsonage.
But anyway, there was some rumors, and then it became official that PlayStation 4 was going to allow people to vote for one game a month on the PlayStation Plus lineup, and so they would give you 3 games to vote for, and then you would be able to decide which one of those games would be available for the next month for free. And so they have announced the first 3 games that you can vote for, and they are as follows. Armello, a grim fairy tale board game come to life, combining deep tactical card play, rich tabletop strategy, and RPG elements set in a vibrant magical world with a tinge of darkness. Armello thrusts players into an epic struggle for power as they quest, scheme, explore, vanquish monsters, perform the Mad King's royal edicts, and face off against other players with one ultimate end goal in mind, storming the palace and becoming king or queen of Armello.
Boring. Next.
Yeah, that sounds awful. And then we have Grow Home, which has been on PC, and it's interesting. This isn't out on PlayStation yet, so this would be like a release straight to Instant Game Collection.
Like a Rocket League situation.
Yes.
Rocket League.
What just happened?
Mother of God.
You play Bud, botanical utility droid, a robot on a mission to find the star planet and save his planet. Discover...
Star plant.
Oh, I can't read. Mini stroke again. Chalk it up to another. Give another one to mini stroke there, Diz. Discover a strange open world, a planet of floating islands with precipitous drop. Give one more to him there, Dizzy. Caves and waterfalls to navigate, all rendered in a minimalist but beautiful art style. Grow the giant star plant and use your unique climbing abilities to reach ever higher ground. But be careful as you ascend, because one wrong move and it's a long way down.
I'm more meh about that than this next one, though. Probably will also suck, but the title alone has me thinking.
This is Zombie Vikings. From the creators of last year's indie hit Stick It to the Man comes a new co-op 4-player stab you in the gut-a-thon. That doesn't sound pleasant. With a dead funny adventure. Hack through the boiling gingerbread swamps of Molgaga. Take a cruise through the intestines of the Midgard serpent. Fight giant troll poultry and find out how soccer? What's the two dots do to that O? Soccer. Soccer was really invented.
Soccer. Is that how it sounds?
Possibly.
Sounds good to me.
Which of these sounds most intriguing to you, Seth? None of them.
No.
I would download every single one of these and never play them.
I'd play Zombie
it's
Vikings.
One of those situations. I would try each of them for about 5. Well, actually, I wouldn't even worry about that fairy tale board game.
Yeah, this Armello, I'm not. Yeah,
Armello.
yeah. Please don't vote for Armello.
If you vote for that, just unfollow us. I'm kidding. Don't, please. It was a joke.
Yo.
Baby, come back.
And we're down to 5 followers. Thank you. I unfollowed us too because I'm voting for it. No, the Zombie Vikings game sounds really interesting to me. But did we talk about this last week? I really don't remember. So we're going to talk about it again. How do you feel about this feature? You're not a PlayStation owner.
Like voting?
Yeah, but if the Games with Gold came along and did the same thing, and it was these crappy titles. I don't know. Apparently Grow Home's a pretty good game. But
it looks like it would be one of those like little indie fan favorites.
Yeah.
A very niche audience would play and love.
Yeah. So, how would you feel?
I guess I like having some semblance of control. I'd like being able to vote.
It's all up to the electoral college anyway, though. So it's
Yeah.
like, how much control do you really have?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Don't vote.
I was telling my kids this recently about voting in churches, and I think we can apply it to the nation as well. I said, think of your... I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm saying I'm in the middle of it. Think of your average church attender and how much they don't know about the Bible, and then ask yourself, how much power do you really want them to have to make decisions? Think of your average American.
And how much knowledge they have about literally anything.
And how much, Larry? And then ask yourself, Larry, how much knowledge do you have of the unemployment system? And
0.
Prepare to learn.
Oh man,
I don't mean that.
You're probably right. No, dude, my church doesn't vote, so I'm clear.
We're clear. We're clean.
back to what we were talking
back
about.
to reality.
Back to video game. Back to what really matters.
So
in
the
life.
electoral college.
But for me, the cool thing about the PlayStation Plus and the Games with Gold is that like there's a big surprise at the reveal. And so when you get a game that it's like when we got Rocket League revealed that it was going to be a PlayStation.
Rocket League.
Is that you or is that Gary?
That's me.
Oh, okay. But when we got Rocket League that came straight to Instant Game Collection, like that was a big deal, and it generated even more hype behind it.
Yeah,
whereas
for sizzle.
If that would have been on a list to vote for, it clearly would have won the vote after how successful their beta was. But it would have taken the excitement and the surprise out of the announcement for it. So And especially if like these are 3 games that they've obviously already considered are going to come to Instant Game Collection. So I would guess that these things are going to make their way there at some point. You know, it may just not be in September. And so not only are we getting one thing spoiled, we're probably getting three things spoiled. That these games are just going to come. So and plus conspiracy theory, Luke, for a moment. Here says they've already picked what it is, and they're just going to bullcrap the vote. They just want a semblance of choice, which is what I believe in anyway. So.
Just like our country and the shadow government that controls the real government.
Yeah, mostly headed by Jay-Z.
The Patriots, Metal Gear Solid 5, coming to stores September 1st.
What? Did you say the Patriots?
Yeah. You don't know anything about Metal Gear Solid.
No, I don't.
They do.
I lost it. I like it. Oh, what's up, Busy Moose? Thank you for the follow. You are awesome. Diz is over here keeping up with the chat, being awesome. Busy's in Sweden. You ever been to Sweden?
I haven't, but
I had some cheese one time.
And a watch and some chocolate.
I like Swedish meatballs. Is that a thing that's actually Swedish, or is that just a name for it? Like French fries aren't really French.
I like the Swede on Hell on Wheels.
I mean, Freedom Fries.
You're a Hell on Wheels fan?
I've only seen the first season.
But I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I enjoyed it. But then I was like, Lauren, you want to watch this with me? She was like, yeah, and then we never did.
Just sneak and watch it anyway and pretend you haven't seen it. That's what I do all the time with you guys in the movies.
Colin Bohannon does something crazy, and you're like, what? But you know the whole time.
I predicted that.
There's no way. What's next? Talk to me.
Oh, thanks. Here you go, buddy. I got it. Next item on the list, PS4 owners are going to be able to play to try some new game modes in NBA Live 16 for free starting on September 15th. This is interesting to me for a story we're going to talk about in a little bit that concerns EA Access coming to PS4. Because this is an EA game, obviously. But you're going to, let's see. This article from the PlayStation blog says, how would you like to try out the new gameplay modes in NBA Live 16 for free? You don't have to answer that, I know. Right. PS4 owners can get a free download of Live Pro-Am starting September 15th. That's important because Live Pro-Am offers 2 new ways to play online. Get the free download on PS4, jump in with your friends, and check out these game modes. And so they're introducing these 2 game modes, and basically, you create a player, you play your way up through the local ranks of like the local famous basketball courts, street courses, and then you build your player up and you can take them online. There is there's a My Player, My Park kind of feature in NBA 2K that does these sorts of things, and so I wish Ben was here because he could relate to this topic better. But essentially, this is NBA Live. To give you a little context, Larry, there are 2 basketball games. NBA Live, made by EA, and NBA 2K, which is made by 2K Sports.
Has it been a while since there's been a live game?
There was a live game last year and the year before. The one 2 years ago really sucked. The one last year only kind of sucked. Right. So now this year they're hoping to kind of be good.
That's a good aspiration.
So NBA Live went defunct for a while because they couldn't put together a game that worked. And then they came back with NBA Live 14, and that sucked. NBA Live 15 was a little bit better. In fact, I wrote a review on NBA Live 15 last year, and I was like, they took great strides. Like to have a 9-month dev cycle and to make the changes they made between those 2 titles, it was good. So hopefully they've made even more improvements. But this is their way of saying, like, jump in. My Park is one of the most popular features in game modes on NBA 2K, and so this is going to be like directly competing with it, and especially if your player progress goes into the full title, that would be really good. I don't think they announced anything about that, but getting people to go in and see if they like this game. So from a sports game perspective, I think that it's really. This is really cool for NBA Live because I was an NBA Live fan back in the day when these 2 games, before it went defunct. And so I would like to see it come back to prominence. Now I'm going 2K this year because they have an online franchise mode. But what I want to ask you guys more so about is what do you think of this approach? This isn't really, I mean, it's a demo of sorts, but it's like a game mode specific demo. Is there like another demo you can think of in video games where they said, hey, here's a new mode, we want you to try this, or here's the resurgence of a mode, try this, and what do you think about that approach?
I feel like.
Well, while you guys think I have one, and that'll
Do it,
give
you
some
won't.
time,
Say it.
was I think the multiplayer beta for Halo 5.
I was
That's what I was
thinking
about
about
to
that
say.
myself. Yeah.
It was a lot like that because I mean, arena style multiplayer has been a thing in Halo before, but they kind of migrated away from that in Halo 4, and they were going back to that in Halo 5 with kind of the pacing of Halo 4 in mind with it, and so they wanted to show the player like, here's kind of the direction we want to go with this, and I think it really got some people. It got you excited about the multiplayer of Halo 5.
And what I was going to say also is Halo Reach. I'm pretty sure the beta for that included, what was it called? I want to say it was called Invasion, where one side is trying to invade the fortress of another side, and so you're clearing down walls, and then eventually you steal the core or stop or drop a bomb or whatever. Which was a really cool game mode. It was the most fun game mode in Halo Reach, but I think I'm calling it the wrong name, which makes me sound like a guy who hates Halo. So I don't know.
You're a Halo hater.
But yeah, it's cool. It gets you excited. Get the blood flowing.
This is one of those things that it's like, this can be really, really good, or it can be really, really bad. You know, like if people jump into this game mode for NBA Live 16 and it sucks, they're going to hurt their sales. But if it's something that's really, really good and gets people hooked, it's gonna help them out. But to take a risk like that, to me, shows confidence in their product. Like, obviously through EA Access, you get early access to NBA Live 15 just by nature of the program itself. But to go out on a limb and say, we're going to even allow PlayStation owners to have an option that's going to allow them to play this early says, like, man, we have a lot of confidence in this. Same thing with the Halo 5 beta.
Well, yeah, for sure. Now, that made me a little nervous because, again, we had some problems. You know, this was around the Master Chief Collection debacle time with the matchmaking and whatnot. We couldn't party up or we couldn't do this, that, the other in terms of connecting to games. But, I mean, really, you can't spend your whole life worrying about that because you'll never get anything done.
Life's short.
Smoke up.
Tomorrow.
Whoa. Welcome to Cannabis 3 Podcast. And now we are unemployed. It wasn't your fault. It was Seth's fault, then my fault.
It was bound to happen.
Welcome to the cigarette review.
It's just me.
Welcome
having
to
an
the Seth
asthma
Martin
attack and
Cigarette
dying on the table.
Show.
Every week, it's just Larry having a severe asthma attack. Oh, man.
Or I'm like my great grandma before she passed away, God rest her soul. Like I'm puffing on a cigarette in one hand, but then I pop my oxygen back in my nose with the other hand.
That's a dangerous game to be playing.
It's a dangerous game. Exactly.
Hey, and
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
even
be
making that up.
high.
It's terrifying.
That's really funny, actually.
Woman could cook some poke greens though.
Oh, man. Busy Moose says, I loved Halo until recently on the Master Chief Collection where I thought I was good enough for Legendary. I died a lot and only managed to get to the 3rd level. Hey, man, I feel you. Larry's all the time wanting to play on Legendary, and I'm like, I don't want this to take 48 hours.
And don't suck.
I do.
I know.
Like you say that, and you say it as if I have a choice, but I just naturally suck at the game. We were talking about this with Destiny earlier. It's like, I love the Crucible in Destiny because I'm pretty good at the Crucible in Destiny. Like, I'm pretty good at the multiplayer in Halo. However, when I get into the campaign, I suck because it's like I got to hide behind crap and I got to wait for my shield to regenerate, and there's all kinds of enemies, and they're focused solely on me.
Samesies. We're twinning it up.
But isn't Halo like that when you're playing on like the grander difficulties?
What? Oh yeah, you gotta hide and stuff.
Yeah, like you got to take cover. It's true to combat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you ever been shot?
I mean,
Me neither.
in a sense.
Does airsoft count?
You know, when the doctor tells you to pull your pants down, puts a little needle in your butt.
I've never received a needle in my butt.
Really?
Really?
No, I haven't either.
You're a freak.
Man, you're free. What kind of shots have you gotten in your butt?
I mean, I don't know the particular shots. I think.
Like you just let the doctor just randomly.
I
go
mean,
down
he's
there
like, all right, I'm gonna need to put this in you, and I'm like,
you need to find a better way to say that.
if you insist, Doc. I mean,
Diz and I have a friend who
it was a thick needle too.
he was proud of all the things that he could eat. He thought he had an invincible stomach, and so he went on a mission trip to Mexico and thought he could drink Mexican water.
Who did this?
A friend, me and Diz, we have a friend.
Oh, I thought you
name's
said it
Nathan.
was
No, it
Diz.
wasn't Nathan.
His name's Nathan.
It was not Nathan.
His name's Sam McGee. He had a bunch of
And,
chests of dirt.
and so he goes into the doctor, and the doctor tells him to bend over this table with his pants down, and in his words, basted him like a turkey.
Oh man!
I'm not okay with this story anymore.
Welcome to Defecation 3 podcast.
All right. Moving on. Beta testers have said. You all right?
The way you moved on so smoothly made me laugh.
Oh. Oh, hold on. Busy Moose says, I've played through the main Destiny campaign, never downloaded any DLC. Is it worth jumping back to the stuff, and what DLC should I go for?
No.
There you go.
This
is we got the sliding scale.
Show
right
me
here.
the question so I can read it.
Oh,
more,
hey Diz,
more
can you
gooder.
copy that back on there? Dizzy, can you put that question back on there so he can read it? Essentially, does the downloadable content on Destiny make it worth it?
I think so. Now, if I were you, you said you've already gotten this.
He says, I played through the main Destiny campaign, never downloaded any DLC. Is it worth jumping back to that stuff? And what DLC should I go
If you haven't bought it yet, don't. When the Taken King comes out, if you buy, I guess, the disc copy, you can get the DLC. I don't know if they have a package for all that or not. If you can get just the game itself, it's like $60 for the whole game.
Well, does the Taken King not come with?
I don't think if you're just downloading the Taken King content itself is $40 if you just download that. They've got several different options. It's worth looking into depending on whatever you have. But I would say yes. I'm after the Taken King. I'll be in 60 plus 40 is 100. I'll be in like $140 on this one game, and I'm totally happy with it. The game, it's constantly evolving. It's after the Taken King was out, it's going to be a totally different thing. So yeah, get it. Get your raid gear. Meet up with your friends. You can meet up with people on the forums if you want to.
You can meet up with Seth.
You can meet up with me, and we can party
if you're
all night
playing on
long.
PS4.
Yeah, on the PlayStation 4, yes. Larry's on the Xbox.
In all seriousness, not me just being negative
Mhm.
because my personal axe to grind against Destiny.
Right.
I would actually wait until we see how light level is going to affect things when they make that change.
Ben had an interview from DJ that went into that to some degree. Now we don't know.
He had a
for sure.
video of an interview. He didn't interview.
Oh yeah, for shizzle. But
we have 9 viewers. DJ isn't coming on this show.
what it seems to be is that if anything, that might drop you to 20. But that's doubtful. I don't know. And they said the light levels are still going to be important, but just in different ways. And I mean, you're still going to have all of your gear that's going to be valuable for doing things like going back and getting Crota, trying to get the weapons that you want, and trying to get sets collected. Destiny's one of those games where every time something changes, it seems like it's boning you. Can I say that?
You did.
I just did.
It's
Whatever.
live.
All right, it's goodbye, world.
All fired.
I'm not fired. I say that every. I say much worse things than that at my
Captain
job
Tom is
every
like,
single day.
Seth.
No.
Gar, Seth, you can't be coming back around here.
Your Sith, you can't be using your foul potty mouth around the pirate ship. But anyway, in all seriousness, it seems like it's boning you every time that it changes. But it's not. It's just. But it ain't. But it ain't. The universe don't seem to be what it is, but it do. The game is worth. I love this game. It is something that I haven't gotten bored with yet, and every time I begin to get bored with it, something comes along and changes it up, and there's always something new and exciting to do, and I'm down with it. Spend your money.
Can we all just shut up and not make me laugh while I drink this last sip of coffee?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
and I'm going to just give my personal opinion. For the Taken King, I think I'm taking a wait-and-see approach with it. I've kind of been everywhere on the spectrum with it, to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick it up day 1, to the point where I'm like, I'm going to trade in Destiny, you know? But I think you and Ben are so excited about it, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I've enjoyed the game. Zephyr says Taken King DLC Legendary Pack has everything.
Oh, okay, cool.
In it, everything. But anyway, I think I'm going to let you guys jump in because Lord knows you're going to play it enough first night to have an opinion on it.
Yeah, for sure. Brian is actually talking about trying to stay up and get to the max light level that night.
Brian is
and
crazy.
he will probably do it.
So Seth has this buddy of his. Do you work with Brian?
No, he's my boss's brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. So Brian just got Destiny like a month and a half ago.
And
It
he
has not been that long. And he has already got 2 characters to 34, right?
3.
He's got all 3 of his characters to
Yeah.
34.
All 3 to 34,
So-
which isn't that hard to do if you're coming into it because House of Wolves makes things a little easier.
So
with
what
you
you're
for
saying
playing
is
all
like unemployment isn't that bad of a thing.
day. He's fully employed.
There's no way.
Dude,
He's a plumber
that guy we played
for
with,
like corporate stuff. He's there every day, sometimes
guy-
6 days a week.
the guy I play Destiny and Halo with, Sarge, he's on games all the time for long periods of time and works, and I don't know when he sleeps. Like, it's got to just be a couple hours a day.
It's unreal, and he has more like my Grimoire score is still above his for now, but he has all the weapons that I want. He got a Mythic class the other day.
What's that mean?
The Vex Mythic class, it's a little thing that goes pew, 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 pew.
Sounds cool.
It is.
Is he a vampire? Is Brian a vampire?
Probably.
Is he a pirate captain like your boss? Vampire Pirates? That hasn't been done yet. Let's make that movie. Vampirates.
Vampirates, you're matey. Let me be sucking your blood.
But you also have the romantic scene like in Twilight stuff.
Oh, of course. Like,
But still in pirate speak.
I'm gonna bite you and drag you across the poop deck.
How long you been watching me at sleeping night? God, it's been a long time.
Oh, is it a gay pirate romance?
Aren't they all?
Pirate vampire romance?
Aren't they all?
Well, yeah.
If it's Twilight. If it's anything like Twilight.
They're lady pirates.
But they don't sound like this.
Have you ever seen one?
That's true.
My favorite lady pirate, I forget her name, but she was an English noble, and
Is this a real lady pirate?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to say, I'm not gonna guess. I'm not gonna guess her name, but her husband made some enemies out of some Frenchmen, and they invited him over to dinner one day and cut his head off. And so she sold everything she owned, bought a pirate ship, and started terrorizing every French vessel she could get her hands on. And if any of the French vessels had a French lord on them, she personally beheaded them with an axe.
All right.
That is love. When you are killed in cold blood and your lady spends the rest of her life killing everyone that had any hand in it.
And ask yourself, would your wife do this for you?
I like to think so.
For me or to me?
Yes.
What is that like? What's that girl's name called?
Lizzie Borden.
No, not
Took an
Lizzie.
axe.
The one that chopped the wiener off.
I don't know. No one wants to know her name. Moving on.
Donna?
Because I'm not Googling that. I'm not Googling lady who
You know
chopped
what I'm
the
talking
wiener
about,
off.
though. You know what I'm talking about?
Huh?
Yeah.
You know the one. Okay.
And then she went driving it on the road and like
And
tossed
she
it
tossed it
into
out the
a
window.
field.
Supposedly, now someone was telling me this, and I don't know how true it is. And this is very risque. Supposedly, the guy made a porno about that story, and
Seriously, what is happening?
it was really weird.
Supposedly.
So next
Supposedly.
on the next
maybe
item.
we can Google this. No. If you got your screen capture on,
And how did you?
Lorena Bobbin.
Lorena
Thank
Bobbin.
you. Thank
Did
you.
you
Diz
Google
Love
it?
Cooper.
Did you Google
just
it?
knows.
Oh, or did you? Oh, okay. Diz, I thought Diz was over there on my Wi-Fi. Like woman. He's like Google images woman wiener enter.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Thank God we didn't have screen cap that day. Someone picked their perfect ring crew, and we didn't know who the person was when we Googled it.
Yeah.
Woman wiener what?
Stop.
Oh. Anyway, all right. Moving on.
I see woman
Moving
wiener.
on. We are moving on, Seth.
The second one. Look at the second one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you can look up woman wiener dog pajamas. That's okay.
I didn't
allow it.
put that together.
All right. Whew. Beta testers have leaked some key additions to the PlayStation 4 3.0 update. Here they are listed in an article from GameSpot. Number 1, events have been added. Has been added. It's like a section called events. Has been added to the function items. All events scheduled with PlayStation are now brought together, enabling you to discover, participate in, and watch these events in a centralized area. So like PSX, you'll be able to go watch it. Communities has been added to Friends. Communities is a feature that enables you to find players who have similar tastes and interests. You can join an existing community or create your own community. You can also play games, join parties, or talk about shared interests with members in the community. If I've learned anything from all of your navigatings of the forums to play Destiny with people, I don't want something where people can easily find me to play games with me.
I mean, you can control those things. They'll like make your party or your fire team unjoinable.
And some of them will be really niche, like did I say that right? Niche.
Nietzsche.
Like Seth will be the moderator of the community about just slicing weeders.
Slice and dice, baby. Call me.
I vehemently said moving on. All right. All right.
Insist.
You can now go to Now Playing to see what games or party members of the community are enjoying right now. You can also easily start a game, join a party, or send a request to watch a member's gameplay in Now Playing. You can access Now Playing from What's New, Friends, Communities, the message screen, in Messages, or Profile. That sounds interesting. You can. That sounds like you can request to that the person live stream so you can watch them, right?
I don't really,
join a party
I don't really
or send
know.
a request to watch a member's gameplay.
Oh,
That's what that sounds like.
yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pest you for.
I was about to say, these
Nah,
seem
stop.
like they'd be super annoying. Like, I feel like I'm going to turn off the majority of these things. And then the layout of the message screen in Messages has been improved. From the message screen, you can now select Now Playing or easily start a party. You can also add your favorite groups to favorite groups in Friends. You can now broadcast your gameplay on YouTube. You can now upload video clips to Twitter, 10-second limitation. The layout for Live from PlayStation has been improved. You can now change the speed for automatic text scrolling. A bunch of little things here. But one of the things I have not noticed on here, and maybe you have seen it. Oh, I don't know. Apparently somebody's knocking somewhere. That's what it sounded like. We're not answering any doors around here after what we've been talking about.
Knocking on Lucas' door.
One of the things I don't see on here is friend notifications. Did you see that?
It's so simple.
You know, I can't say that I did.
Just add it.
My PlayStation has recently been doing this thing where it won't change the number of friends that I have up at the top, and I have to actually go in and look to see how many people are online. You know, you got the little bubble and like 7, 6, 5, however many people are online. It's not changing like that.
What's up, Empty Vase?
Oh, Empty Vials is here. Anyway, what did you just say? I got so distracted.
He
by
says
everything.
I'm not listening. You're
Look,
not listening.
Somebody asked me if I shave my butt hair,
Do
and
you?
I just had to let them know I do.
Can confirm.
You know it's impossible to fart silently if you have butt hair. If you shave your butt hair,
Really?
it's science, man.
Then how do girls fart silently all the time? Or is it true that they just don't fart?
Girls have butt hair, bro. Not as much.
Okay.
You ever heard of Rapunzel?
Rapunzel, let down your butt hair.
This is a weird podcast.
I'm perfectly okay with it.
I would never follow
I'm loving
this.
every minute of it.
Why are you people watching this?
Anyway,
You're all weird.
what did you say about PlayStation? Not about Rapunzel.
My friend's thing has been having the added problem where, like, you know, the little bubble up at top that has like it says like it's the bubble. It says like 7, 5, however many friends you have on.
Yeah.
It's not changing.
Yeah, I've been having that too.
It's been so it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's like you have to actually go in
Yeah.
and look. All right. Thank you for confirming I'm not a weirdo.
You are.
I
but
mean, this makes me happy because the only reason I check that is to see if you're online because I pine for your presence. And
Pine
so,
for the butt zores.
Yeah, so you're pining for, I'm assuming me, so that's why you have to go in there and check all the time. But if we had freaking notifications.
But if we had freaking notifications.
And the way that Xbox does it is so good. Like, you set your favorites and you only get notifications for your favorites so that if I've got 1,000 friends on PlayStation, which I don't, thank the Lord, I don't want to play with all you guys.
fascinating.
What?
I didn't know that. Now I do. Now I can have favorites and know when they're on.
Oh, dude, see, when you text me and you're like, hey, man, I'm going to be 20 minutes late, and then I can see it comes up on my phone, the Ninja Squirrel just logged on to Xbox, and I'm like, he's playing Halo.
That never happens.
I don't know. I'm just joking you.
Yeah. You can
Nope. No.
Nope.
No, that wouldn't make it. Nope.
Nope.
And I'm
Nope.
fired for that one too.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Just gonna let this one slide.
Moving on. Next item on the list.
All right.
Where is the list?
Was there any of these features on here that you were like, that sounds interesting?
This seems like it's a big update for sure. There's nothing really there that I just really, really wanted to have.
It all seems very social.
It is, and that's cool. I like this now playing thing where you can kind of like go in and see more gooder. How many of your friends are on and what they're doing. I kind of like that. It's similar to the Xbox thing. I don't know if it'll look that way, but I'm down.
What stood out to me from that list is this doesn't seem like typical writing convention, but the way they designated names of things was by putting them in parentheses. That was odd.
It was odd.
Has nothing to do with features.
Yeah.
Just weird.
Thanks, it's Doxy.
Yeah. That's who asked me about the hair.
Okay.
That is a sweet armor set.
Yeah. This is Mass Effect.
Is that a Power
No wonder.
Rangers?
All right, next item on the list, the Xbox One EA Access could offer free backwards compatible Xbox 360 games. And this is according to an article at GameSpot. It says the Xbox One's recent announcement of backwards compatibility for Xbox 360 games could open a whole new slate of possibilities of EA Access selection of free games. Dragon Age Inquisition just got added to EA Access. You're not an EA Access member, though.
No.
I just downloaded it yesterday. I'm going to try it out. Having recently been released as a freebie for EA Access subscribers, someone recently asked the EA Access Twitter account if we might see Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2, both Xbox 360 games offered for free. Quote, we're investigating adding backwards compatible EA games to EA Access in the future, EA said in a response. Stay tuned. So this is an interesting story, and I didn't really think about this being a possibility, but it makes total sense.
Yeah.
With Xbox being able to play backwards compatible games and EA having this vault where they can just drop whatever they want in, they've got a huge backlog of games to make EA Access an even more valuable product.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question to you guys, what Xbox 360 game would you like to see EA drop in here that would attract you to maybe sign up for EA Access?
I meant to go do some research on this, and I didn't. Was Homefront an EA game?
No.
Because they had the Battle Pass, which was a total kind of EA move.
No, but because I think they always called those online passes. Let's see, not Homefront publisher.
I don't know. I'm never typically a huge fan of EA games. Maybe some old Need for Speeds.
No, it's Deep Silver.
Okay.
Deep Silver published it.
Need for Speeds, EA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they have any on there now?
Just the Rivals.
Rivals, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe like some older ones. I would love for them to, which I guess they can't really port like PlayStation 2 titles, but around the Underground era, maybe like a Most Wanted, something like that.
Carbon. I loved Carbon. Yeah, they still had customization and stuff in it.
Yeah, Carbon's cool. I mean, just give us plenty of options. I mean, that would make the service is already worthwhile. I just don't have it because I don't even know why, to be honest. But I mean, of course, it's just science. The more content you make available for free, well, not for free, for $30 a year, that's a deal.
That's a deal.
That's a deal. I don't care who you are or where you're from. Greg
Original
Biffle.
Mirror's Edge.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to go back and try that game out just to see how much I disagree with Larry about why it's so cool, or how much I agree with him.
I would like to see NCAA Football 14 come to it. I would like to see. I have the Mass Effect now, but it would be cool for people
If they made it available.
you know,
Yeah, that's EA? Okay, I would like to try that.
That's a BioWare game.
Yeah.
So it's EA owned. And I'm trying to think. The Dragon Age games would be interesting. Like those are big games. Like that's 20, 30, 40 hours of gameplay.
At least, yeah.
At least that you can offer to people for $30 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is just added value to something that I already have a ton of faith in. But I'm in my second year of it now.
No, I'm always curious with services like PlayStation Now and EA Access. When you get you have trophy support for the games, do you lose those trophies if you unsubscribe from the service?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that gamer score goes straight to your.
Do you still have PlayStation Now?
No, I do not.
But you still have your trophies for it?
Yeah, I still have my trophies.
Okay, right on.
I mean, it's just like you're essentially just playing the game off of a.
Yeah, just off the server.
And if I went and picked up PlayStation Now again, I'd still have my saves.
Okay.
There as well.
And they're in the cloud.
Yeah, there.
I love those clouds.
I don't even understand how you get in a cloud like that and how there's stuff in it.
Butterfly in the sky. Reading Rainbow, streaming now on Netflix, season 1.
Yes, it is.
We'll come back to this next one, but there's another EA Access story I want to talk about. Peter Moore was asked if EA Access was going to be coming to PS4, and
the most stupid conversation I've ever heard in my life.
Is this the article with the full interview? Oh no, this is just the article. So yeah, there was an interview that I'm trying to remember who did it. It was a GameSpot interview with Peter Moore. It says in this Polygon article, from the sound of it, if PlayStation 4 owners want EA access on their console, that's going to be up to Sony and not Electronic Arts, which seems mini stroke, score it with a 4.
You need to go to the doctor.
Which seems content with the program after 1 year only on Xbox One. Peter Moore, the EA Chief Operating Officer, or COO, was blunt to GameSpot when it asked whether EA wanted to put the service, which offers a library of free games and exclusive previews for new ones for a subscription fee on PlayStation. Quote, doesn't matter. It's on Xbox One, and those customers love it. And then he talks about how it's on Xbox One. And then he says there's not much left to say.
That just seems like a really weird thing to say. It's a way to end a conversation for sure, but the thing is that it didn't end the conversation. And if you read the interview, with like the back and forth is basically, it doesn't matter. First of all, is this service coming to PS4? Doesn't matter. It's on Xbox One. But could it come? Wouldn't it make sense for it to come to PlayStation 4 if it's such a hit on Xbox One? I don't know. It's not on PlayStation 4. Well, I know it's not on PlayStation 4, but wouldn't it make sense to be there? Like, it sounds like a good idea, but it's not on there.
Yeah. It even read in like one of those, would you please just move on?
I was like, I was reading this like 2 hours ago, and I'm like, bro, talk to me.
EA is butthurt about this. That's the problem. Like PS4, and I think PS4 realized they crapped the bed on this too. Like they
crap the bed.
they missed a golden opportunity to get a service that has been highly profitable for both the Xbox and EA. I don't know what's happening right now.
Missed it.
But anyway,
I can blow bubbles off my tongue.
Oh.
And I've been doing that.
What a grown man you are.
Can you make a bubble fly off your tongue?
No.
Yeah.
Is peeing in my pants the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm doing that right now.
Prove it. Stand up. Show us.
That's what that smell is. I'll be careful. Don't knock one of Larry's 3 drinks off of the counter.
One time, this really strange fellow named Josabella, I said his whole name on the podcast. He
you can look him up on Facebook.
he came into me and Diz's room in college wearing nothing but a pair of tidy whities, and he said, "Did you know that 97% of people can't urinate on themselves at will?" And then just stared at us while his underwear start turning yellow.
Oh my God.
He was a weird dude. He was a weird dude. Anyway, I think EA is incredibly butthurt that PlayStation 4 didn't want this on their consoles because PlayStation, oh crap, let me open the Polygon article because they have the actual quote, but essentially just said, we only want to give our customers something that we see as valuable, and we don't see this as valuable. So EA is basically, I think this is a whole, look how successful we are on the Xbox, and look how much you messed up on this. Mm-hmm. Because the quote from I can't. Here we go. A year ago, as Electronic Arts announced the service and its terms for Xbox One, Sony explained why it wouldn't be offered on PlayStation 4. Quote, we don't think asking our fans to pay an additional $5 a month for this EA-specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer, end quote. And I think when we talked about this on the podcast, we talked about how PlayStation 4 was making a mistake on this with the idea of the Vault. And the whole like EA specific program, EA is one of, if not the biggest publisher of video games in terms of like just pure library volume and range of genres that they cover, from sports to shooters to platformers to puzzle games to
You're right.
RPGs, like all of this sort of stuff. And so for PlayStation to look at it and say, we just don't think it's valuable to pay an extra $5 a month. No, but you want people to pay $20 a month to do PlayStation Now, and this gives them an option to play a backlog of games for much, much less.
When it comes to values, Sony kind of drops the ball.
Well, and we've talked about that with both PlayStation Now and like PlayStation View's pricing model was a little out of touch with the issues.
And maybe maybe the economy's better in Japan, but I don't know. That's all I had. That's all I have.
Do you think PlayStation is looking at this? Do you think PlayStation would ever swallow their pride and put this on their consoles? Because it sounds like EA is willing. Like, because Peter Moore is basically like, look, if PS4 wants it, they need to come talk to us about it. But PS4 hasn't approached us about it. Well, Sony hasn't approached us.
They're not great at swallowing pride.
I think they did a good job of it on the PS3, realizing that they made some mistakes and moving on from there. And I think with the reveal of the PS4, it was really like a lesson learned kind of thing. But this is just yet again out of touch, and out of touch with what people see value in.
It sucks because they're so in touch in a lot of ways, but in many more they're not. Especially when it comes down to price points and deals and bang for your buck, basically.
Yeah.
For those listening, Larry turns slowly and produces a big old smile.
Well, first of all, he
touched his leg.
He touched my leg.
Oh, that's
He was
what happened.
trying to
I
make
missed-
an
I missed
Abrahamic
that.
oath with me. He was like,
Is that how that? Oh my God, that feels weird.
Seth, I promise
now
you.
it feels good, but it
Do you
just
like that? My hands are super clammy,
they're warm and
moist.
my
Moist.
house is much warmer than yours is, and so like when I'm here, I'm cold. Oh, I mean, in one of your homes.
And then you just cover up in a bunch of paper.
For those of you that don't know, packing paper makes a great blanket.
Is that all?
That's all I got. That's all I have to say about that.
You all day you've been like in the middle. It sounds like you're in the middle of something when you're at the end of it.
I'm sort of meta that way.
Yesterday
I'm
I
a
was
little
running.
postmodern.
That's you.
So yesterday I was at Bojangles.
Go on.
That's it.
That is.
Bojangles.
I mean, if we're getting down to brass tacks, that is a story.
I mean,
It's
it is
just-
a story.
It's very succinct.
It's got character. It's got conflict.
It's sort of minimalist because it's like Hemingway. The rest of the story is underneath. You can only imagine what happened when I went to Bojangles.
I ordered the same thing I order every time.
Maybe
and
I
I
did.
ate
Maybe.
it.
Maybe. But it's all in the subtext. Like yesterday, I went to Bojangles. Why am I so excited about that?
3 deep, 5 me.
What's up, Tester Devo1? Welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit that follow button. Anyway, next item on the list. Let's stick with the EA vein here. And let me actually find where he says this in this, because this is from the GameSpot interview. But Peter Moore suggests that the reason that single player mode is not like a single player campaign mode isn't in Star Wars Battlefront is because the data shows that oftentimes people in these sorts of games don't play that mode. It's way, way down here. So let me do this. Battlefront. So as we know, Battlefront is going to feature like missions that are a callback to the original trilogy, correct? And you will be able to play those both co-op and single player, but there's no like cohesive campaign that you can play. And let me see where he says this. I'm sorry. Live television. Oh, that's why it's not working. I was hitting. All right, here we go. Ba ba. This is the sound of settling. Okay, here we go. he talks about how basically the interviewer says, "Do you kick yourself for not adding a single player game?" And Peter Moore says, "Well, that's up to the executive producer, the executive director of this game, and no, we don't kick ourselves over it because we make these decisions for a reason." And then the interviewer goes on. He says, "I totally understand that you have to think ahead when playing games. I was more thinking about Battlefront with more crude algebra, and that AAA games with single player traditionally sell better than those with just multiplayer. Think like Evolve and Titanfall."
Yeah, but at the same time, things like people are worried, and playthroughs at conferences like E3 and Gamescom have kind of assuaged these doubts. But for those that haven't really gotten there, people are worried that this is going to be Battlefield with a Star Wars skin. And whether it is or whether it isn't, games like this, especially by EA Studios, tend to not have the best story modes to them, and they're not really a big selling point. Same thing goes for Call of Duty. Even though Call of Duty has some really great campaigns, the vast majority of people are buying those for the multiplayer. Many people that I know never even touch the campaigns, whether or not they're halfway decent. So it's tricky, especially when you get into a Star Wars.
Hold on, before we get into it, let me actually get to what Peter Moore said.
Okay, talk to me.
He says, so there's two phenomena with that statement. The first is that, yes, you might be right in that, AAA games with single player might traditionally sell better. The second is that very few people actually play the single player on these kind of games.
Yeah.
That's what the data points.
That's what I was thinking. I remembered him saying, but I jumped the gun.
Yeah, I don't give two craps about what the interviewer says. It's all about what Peter Moore says in response. But he says that that a single player, something that has a single player may sell better, but as Dizzy always reminds us, Dizzy, that's already his nickname, Cooper, that correlation does not always equal causation. So the single player may not be causing these things to sell better, because Peter Moore says the data points to the fact that most people don't play the single player in these sorts of games.
And when you get into Star Wars, it's always tricky. Like, there have been bad Star Wars games. There have been good Star Wars games.
There have been more bad Star Wars games than good ones.
Yeah, for shizzle. But it's tricky. And when you have a game that looks this good, do you really want to potentially turn people off, especially with a movie coming out a month afterwards, to turn them off with a bad story? We're already probably going to start getting a bunch of bad Star Wars movies.
Going to that point of correlation and causation, how many AAA games don't have a single-player campaign, first off? Like, Titanfall and Evolve are all I got off the top of my head. Arguably Left 4 Dead.
Destiny.
Well, Destiny's it's different.
Yeah, it's
different.
And second, I think he's right that there are a lot of games like that where people don't play the campaign. I know a lot of people who buy Halo's never mind. That's a terrible example. There are people who buy Halo just for the campaign, but there are people who buy it and don't even touch the campaign.
Yeah.
But regardless of all that, I think the big challenge with Star Wars, and I think you already hit on this, was forging this wide variety of battles into a cohesive storyline. Like, you would either have to really limit the scope of your Star Wars campaign, or like they did it in the second Battlefront. There's this old veteran recounting all these battles. That's one way to do it, but I don't know. I don't think it can be forged into a good campaign.
Also, part of this game is that, like, you're playing through battles that have already taken place, so you know the story. Yeah. And if you don't, go back and watch the movies because you're an idiot. You haven't seen these yet.
I only have one more to go.
Yeah.
Now, but you lived most of your life without seeing them, and you should have been raised on these. I blame your parents. I don't mean that.
I blame them for a lot of things.
I blame your parents. I'm the one who's been peeing in their mailbox.
Has someone been peeing in your parents' mailbox?
Yeah, dude. They've been like peeing in a cup and like putting the cup of urine in my parents' mailbox.
Oh, see, I thought it was getting on their mail.
No. They weren't just like just spraying everywhere, like a cat.
Well, just a urine cup. Like, some cultures would view that as a gift. I couldn't stay straight faced.
Thank you, fathers, for this.
I'm just trying to imagine the crap show that would be the phone call from Larry to me after he finds a cup of urine in his mailbox.
Gosh.
About seeking out all of the family members of the perpetrator of this act.
Look, I volunteered on your mom's Facebook page to lie in wait and ambush them, and she did not take me up on it.
Did she like it?
No, she didn't even respond to it. So I took that as a no.
My
She probably
father-in-law-
thought you were overcompensating and that you are, in fact, the urinator.
I would.
Oh,
I would love to drop into a herd of hoodlums and just go Batman.
I
on
would
them.
love to drop into your mother's mailbox and pee all over her mail.
But then frame this herd of hoodlums and just beat them like I'm Batman.
Hoodlums?
Yes.
Hoodlums.
Yes, yes.
I like it. Back to the single player campaign here. Well, how do we get here? That's my question.
How do we get anywhere?
That's very true, too.
Vehicles, legs,
Mad Brock,
wheelchairs.
who is a guy named Ryan. He's awesome. He says, I don't think the old Battlefront games were really single-player stories. They were basically progressive bot matches. Thoughts on that?
He's definitely right on the first one. The second one, they tried to make it a campaign, but he's right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right about what the gameplay was, even though they tried to hammer it into a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were excited about Titanfall from the get-go, from the outset, and you still play Titanfall. You asked us Friday if we wanted to play, and my internet wasn't hooked up, and then I texted you last night, and you didn't text me back.
Ever since Gundam Wing, I've always wanted to pilot a giant robot. So when I saw a giant robot fighting game, I was like, yeah, man, I'm in. That's all I needed.
But when you heard that there wasn't going to be a single-player campaign, what was your reaction to that?
Didn't care.
So what you're saying is like something doesn't need like if it's got an interesting enough concept to it, I don't need a single player story in order to win me over. Because Left 4 Dead's another game that you're really into that doesn't necessarily have a campaign.
You can argue that it's a campaign, but for me, the magic of that game was the online multiplayer.
I mean, you can argue that Evolve is a camp. Like Evolve actually does have a story underneath it all, and you can pick it up through the dialogue the characters are having, whether they're in the match or whether you're in like in the dropship about to go down. But
story's different than campaign.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like every game has lore.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't get it as well as others. Destiny. I don't know. I do have a soft spot in my heart for the Destiny story. But
I don't.
Again, like call a spade. Like, and I actually applaud EA and DICE for doing this and creating a game with no campaign mode. Because why make it? Why bother if it's not going to be just great, especially when you're dealing with something as potentially devastating as Star Wars. Now, when we start getting Han Solo movies, I don't know.
You're like, maybe there's going to be a multiplayer element to those Han Solo movies that will redeem it.
Hey, you never know, right?
It was such a wide scope of places and battles. Like, you're right. Whatever story they would have would be generic and okay at best.
Yeah, like it's going to be the tale of a... It's going to be another one of those things where you're a foot soldier, which is really cool, just going in and playing a multiplayer game where you're just like a random soldier and you're doing your thing. But when it's like, oh, he's got a family at home and he's a man against the world, I don't like it. It's been told too many times, and I don't want it in my Star Wars.
So when the game that Visceral's working on, which is going to be a Star Wars RPG, what story elements are you looking for in that would make you say, like, man, that's a Star Wars story mode that I'm really looking forward to?
Can I answer while you think?
Yeah, that was an opening.
It seems like you're thinking.
Talk to me. I'm thinking.
I would love to see something resembling Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Academy.
With a better name.
Yeah. You had a lot of control over what force powers you used. Your decisions actually affected the type of character you were and ultimately the outcome of the game. Like decisions that affect your destiny. That's what I'm looking for in a Star Wars RPG.
And what every RPG really needs is just like a sense of greatness. Like you're bound for something, and you're looking to be the very best. That's what I like about Destiny to some degree. Like you're become legend. That's the title of it. I need something like that. Like you come out of anonymity and you become something great. Maybe you end up on the game's forums, and you're the master and commander of all time.
Like real life.
Or infamy, you are the Leroy Jenkins of the Star Wars.
Or that, exactly.
Laughing stock for
but
ages.
like, just something that and if it's going to be an RPG, that's great. Just something really in depth, something with a great and when it comes down to it, you got to have a great story, and that's really what makes the best Star Wars games, other than simply just multiplayer items. Shadows of the Empire is one of my favorite games of all time from the N64. Absolutely loved it.
Go ahead. You sound.
Oh, I thought you were going.
Well, you sounded like you were in the middle of thought. I didn't want to cut you off.
I'm gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sounded in the middle of thought all day. We've covered
that
this.
is true.
Right.
I think with anything that's sacred, whether it be like Star Wars or even something that's sacred to me, which is like the Last of Us story. Like I'm okay with things delving into that universe as long as they create some fashion of distance from the main story arc of it.
Right, and when you try to retell that or dip into it or extend it, it's kind of tricky. What I loved about Shadows of the Empire was that it did deal, like it was taking place during the canonical episodes 4, 5, and 6, but it's telling a story like kind of on the outskirts of that. You're a bounty hunter that's doing his own thing. You're hunting down Boba Fett, yada yada yada. You're having some kind of relations with this Green Emperor dude of another race that's trying to do something crazy with Darth Vader, yada yada yada. It was a great story, and if I had an N64, I'd love to go back and do that all over again. But that's what we need: something original, something unique, and something that has just enough of the lore flowing all through it that wants me to come back for more.
And I think it's even harder when you delve into like movie universes, because not only is it the story that's sacred, but when you see Han Solo, you think Harrison Ford. Like there are real life people attached to these characters, and when you try to deviate away from that, like you can't get Harrison Ford to come voice Han Solo in these games,
Right?
And so there's an automatic suspension, like an automatic disconnect from reality, because like, oh, that's a different voice actor, which is what a lot of people are worried about in these Han Solo movies that are coming up. Is like, well, if it's not Harrison Ford, it's not Han Solo.
Right, which I'm sure he would probably be in there to some degree. They had that conversation on Colin and Greg one time, where like maybe he's his age now and he's telling his kids some stories, and that's how these movies come to fruition. But it's one of those things. They could be great, and I could love them to death, but it could be episodes 1, 2, and 3 for all their worst aspects all over again.
Can I just pause for a moment and tell you, I've never understood why How I Met Your Mother used Bob Saget as the grown-up Ted's voice when Ted was grown up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just thought.
It boggles the mind.
It got extra confusing in the last episode.
When he's like that age, but he doesn't sound anything like Bob Saget.
Yeah.
And
would it have been better if he'd have just been moving his lips and Bob Saget would have done a voiceover for him?
It would have been better if he was inexplicably Bob Saget. And Bob Saget runs down the road with the blue trumpet thing, French horn, whatever. I don't know what it was.
Trumpet thing, French horn, they're all the same.
Brass tacks.
All right. Next item on the list. Are we done with that topic?
I think so. I think we've kind of beat it. It's a dead horse, and we're just swinging away.
I'm okay with that. Guillermo del Toro vows never to work on a video game again. This is according to IGN. Guillermo del Toro.
can you blame the man?
Hold on. Let's get some context here. He's sworn off getting involved in video games ever again following the cancellation of 2 successive projects. Speaking to Shack News, the legendary director revealed the cancellation of Insane in 2012, following the demise of its publisher THQ, rest in peace, and the more recent death of Silent Hills has become too much to bear. Quote, I have proven to be the albatross of video games. I joined THQ, and THQ goes broke. I join Kojima, and Kojima leaves Konami. I have decided, in order not to destroy anyone else's life. Is this not the most melodramatic thing you've ever heard in your entire life? I have just quote.
Which I think he's like kind of joking, but he's kind of serious at the same time.
Quote, I have decided I will never again get involved in video games. Otherwise, I'll join someone and his house will explode or something. End quote. I like to think he really thinks this is going to happen.
I like that he used the word albatross. That's one of my favorite things.
Yes, I love his show, Albatross and the Chipmunks.
That's stupid. That's a bad joke. It's not even a dad joke.
He's snickering about it.
I did snicker.
A picker.
But I mean, can you blame the man? Like, I don't even know if I want him, because Silent Hills, we're all mourning it still. I would love to see something this man did, but after the hype of a Hideo Kojima / Guillermo del Toro / Norman Reedus collaborative effort.
Oh my gosh, it was a dream.
It was the dream, and it's gone now. And what can ever replace it?
Nothing.
Whatever we're going to have for dinner tonight.
Nope.
It's gonna
No,
bring
that's
me a
not
lot
going
of
to get
joy.
anywhere near it. I don't know.
I don't know. And
Unless Darren Aronofsky makes a Requiem for a Dream video game. You guys ever seen that movie? Never mind.
It kind of reminds me of, I mean, granted, he has other projects he's going to get on, so it's not a one-to-one comparison, but Joss Whedon, after he made Firefly, like it was this crown jewel. He considers it the crown jewel of everything he's ever created. And Joss Whedon's made so many great things. But he talks about how I think there were a couple of years after Firefly where he didn't make anything. And this is the dude who, in the middle of the Avengers, he uses his vacation to make his Much Ado About Nothing adaptation. He's always making something.
Right.
Much
But he's just
ado about nothing.
Yeah, that's it. So just this thing that you create and spend all this time on getting destroyed. Del Toro saw that happen twice. And it seemed like, we don't know how far they got into Silent Hills, but it seems like they'd gotten pretty far into it. So I get it. I'm sad about it, but I get it.
He's got like the opposite of a Midas touch.
Yes.
Everything he touched turns to
Well, no,
a big old
in
pile
the
of ashes.
in the video game world.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, it's like you said, it's understandable, and he says he's going to continue to learn from Kojima. But didn't we just do a story like a month and a half ago that they wanted to work on a video game? You think he's given?
That's the thing about Kojima is you never know what the man's up to. I still wonder if this whole Konami Kojima thing is a ploy. I'm convinced that he knew it was coming. He's a master craftsman. This is his greatest metafictional narrative so far. He's actually doing it in the real world.
He is actually opening the gates of hell. Silent Hills is reality.
I pray.
Don't
that
joke
it
about
is
that,
not.
Larry.
It can become reality through virtual reality, possibly.
Nope, wouldn't play that.
No, heck no.
Without an adult diaper.
Well, you're in luck, buddy.
Until Dawn comes with a free pack of Depends.
Oh, moving on. VP of Marketing for Bethesda says not to expect an announcement about the next Elder Scrolls for a very long time. This is from an article from PC Gamer. A lot of people are hoping that an Elder Scrolls game that becomes backwards compatible and they do a remaster. But here we go. It says, given the success of Skyrim and the upcoming release of Fallout 4, you might hope that Bethesda would have plans to announce a new Elder Scrolls RPG in the near future. Not so, according to Bethesda's Pete Hines. During a chat with DualShockers, the studio's VP of Marketing explained that Bethesda was still working on Fallout 4, a process that takes the entire studio's focus. As such, Hines doesn't believe we're close to hearing about a new Elder Scrolls game. In fact, he believes it will be a, quote, very long time, end quote, before the team is ready to talk about what they have planned after Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my reaction too.
Fallout 4, what is it? Is it this year, right?
Yeah,
Like
November,
okay. It's going to be at least three years before we even get the Elder Scrolls 6 announced.
Yeah.
They just came out with the online, too, for the consoles. Give them some time. Let them breathe.
It takes time to build worlds.
Well, and just the way that they handled the whole Fallout 4 process was like, hey, we're going to announce it several months before, not several years before. So if it's going to be a while before we hear about Skyrim, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a long, long way off.
Yeah,
because they're not the kind of company who's going to say like, hey, Elder Scrolls Online, like in 2017, coming in 2020.
Right. It's and just the way that they did it this year with the E3 reveal. Oh, they had the reveal before E3, but their presentation at their conference, the first time ever, it was gold. We've talked about it several times on this show. They're probably going to be looking to do something like that again with their next big release, which will be most likely the Elder Scrolls a couple of years down the line. Let them do it. Let them take their time. Let them just showmanship.
And there were at least 5 years between Oblivion and Skyrim.
Something like that, yeah.
So, like, and just the scale that they're getting to at this point, I totally understand taking that long.
And when did Skyrim come out? Was it into 2011, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So be looking for that in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
And that was the news.
News with the podcast guys. Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Bappy Wrathay Roos.
I'm glad you're not dead.
Chalk one more up for mini stroke. This one got Larry though, not me. All right, moving on to everybody's favorite segment. I say that. That's not true. There's no data to show that, but it is everybody's
We don't have
favorite
any
segment.
data at all, do we?
I mean, we have this data right now. We probably have 4.5 people watching.
A whopping 8.
Random question of the week.
Random question of the week for the month for this week.
Doesn't even make sense.
Happy birthday,
Bruce. All right, man.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's
Bye-bye.
Player 3 Podcast. I'm just kidding.
Just playing.
Random question of the week. I'm going to save one of these for the after show because this went longer than I thought it would.
There are 2? I only saw one earlier.
Well, we put another one in there.
Messed
late.
with
Surprise!
But we're going to keep the one that you saw.
All
So your random question of the week for the month for the week this week is the Star Wars theme park was announced this week. It's going to have rides related to Star Wars where you literally get a piggyback ride from Harrison Ford.
That's the ride.
That's it.
The ride.
It's the whole theme park.
That's like such a Cosmo Kramer Seinfeld idea. You ever seen the episode with the Kramer reality tour? Or the real J. Peterman reality tour. That's like Harrison Ford in a field somewhere.
We got NBA All-Star Dirk Nowitzki shooting a BB gun at you in an open field.
It's like a short bus with like 6 people to come out. You got like a pizza bagel on the way over, and he
like a bagel bite.
Yeah. And that's
They
what they
make
do.
like a full-size
That's what
bagel
they do
bite?
in the Seinfeld episode. Like, but he starts running out of pizza bagels. You never had a pizza bagel before?
I've had bagel bites.
A pizza bagel is just like a bagel that you put like cheese and like mozzarella and marinara and whatnot on there and pepperoni. And anyway, but then he starts running out of real pizza bagels and starts putting like pizza ingredients on crackers and things like that, handing out like mini Three Musketeers.
My father-in-law puts mayonnaise on saltine crackers because he's a disgusting fool.
You're a freak. You're going to hell, man.
Seriously, gross. Anyway,
Ask your dang question.
Star Wars theme park has been announced. My question to you is, outside of Star Wars, because I feel like you're probably excited about that. That seems like a cool idea. We'll probably never go. You might go. I don't know. But what kind of park would you like to see designed around a franchise that you were a fan of?
Obviously, wait. You say not specifically Star Wars?
Oh, you can do. That's fine. Is your?
I
specific-
misunderstood the question.
Oh, mine was. It's
I
more
gotcha.
of, yeah,
Okay.
like a specialized.
What
theme
kind
park.
of-
Let me answer the question I thought first.
Yeah,
With one,
ask the question you thought first.
what should the Star Wars theme park include?
There you go. All right.
Obviously, a station for building your own lightsaber.
Kind of similar to the Harry Potter 1 experience where they walk, like if you want to wait in line that long, you can wait for them for the choosing ceremony.
I think you called us a bad word. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Let's answer your real question.
I got mine. Doctor Who. It would be so fun because you've got different planets, different galaxies. You're all over the universe. So you could have all kinds of so much variety in your rides, and you could have different sections within this park. The Harry Potter theme park is really cool, but it's part of the Universal Islands of Adventure or whatever. But it's just like you're walking through Hogsmeade. They've added on since then, and I haven't been there. I'll probably never go back to Florida, unless you take me there.
I can take you there.
whoever wants to do that. But yeah, you could have just so many different little areas and cool little transitions to those, like you're walking through hyperspace or whatever they call it.
Oh, and you could have a guide that is just one of the doctors, so you get to pick the doctor that you would like to see.
They're all dressed up like different people.
And Chris Eccleston's just always just at the gate begging people. I'd let Chris Eccleston
Turn away.
I love Chris Eccleston.
Yeah, me too.
Do you watch The Leftovers, Larry?
Huh?
He doesn't have HBO.
Oh crap.
And you know how Disney has the princesses? They should have all the companions just wandering around the park.
Mad broadcast would the Doctor Who park be bigger on the inside?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
The entrance is just one phone box in the middle of a parking lot.
Yeah,
it takes forever
There's
to get in.
there's a huge wall right there, but you're just walking into the box.
Oh. Dizzy said, "What if it was built underground, and so the entrance is the retardus, and I mean the TARDIS." And then you go in under the ground.
Right.
I feel like people would catch on pretty quick that it wasn't magic.
Unless you just make it a really smooth elevator ride that you don't even know you're on it.
I'd like a zombie thing, but I don't think I want The Walking Dead.
I mean, they've got that with
They've got a cruise.
They've got zombie runs. They've got the zombie cruise.
Yeah, but a whole theme park. You're right.
Oh, that would get old. Like you know how many overweight people there are in theme parks?
Yeah. I've always
And you
said
have to
a
run-
theme park would be the worst place to be when the
And I
zombie
don't mean like
apocalypse
slightly
starts.
overweight. I mean
Why?
like the why? What do you mean why? Because they're everywhere.
It's so hard to get out.
But they're going to be distracted by all the people you just said occupy theme parks.
The morbidly obese.
Yeah, they're going to be
You're right.
feasting.
You're
So
right.
it's like a buffet of sorts. They're going to get full before they ever get
I mean,
to you.
you've got a window, sure, but like once the infection spreads,
Yeah.
But imagine you're at a theme park and you walk up and it's like, all right, I can get a fried Snickers, I can get a 3 corn dog pack for $1, or I can get a salad. Which one are you going with? Obviously, the fried Snickers. And that's like a zombie. If the zombie apocalypse happens, there's all these fried Snickers. They're not going to eat the salad. All right, you're the salad in this.
What?
They're going to pick the fat people to eat, like me.
Oh, rule 1, cardio.
Yes.
Ooh, a zombie land, literally. There we go.
I hate theme parks. So mine is more of a interactive experience of Psych, a psych murder mystery where you figure it out. You can only figure it out by paying attention to very, very small details. You have to be hyper aware. And it's a training of the mind of sorts. And I can be Lodger Blackman there, and it's okay because that's a Psych reference.
And they update it every year, so you have to keep going back.
Yes, and they update it every year, so you have to keep going back, like Dizzy said.
Yes.
I've been struggling with names. It's another mini stroke. Chalk it up. All right, so that was your.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
wait. Let's think about some more theme parks real quick.
Okay, yeah, do you have one?
No, I just really like the question.
Oh, like a Batman theme park?
That'd be fun. Oh, no, just the entire DC universe.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool. You could do that with Marvel. You could do that with anything really. It'd be cool to have like an Image theme park,
A Mortal Kombat theme park?
like have Spawn and the Walking Dead guys around, and
Spawn killing zombies. That would be fun to watch. I'm
he
sure that's
probably
happening.
does. Yeah, with
Yeah.
that world. Aren't they supposed to have a Invincible show or something like that coming to AMC, or was that just rumor?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, I guess you're right. We're done with this question. I don't have any ideas.
See? That's why I'm hosting, man.
That's
can
why I
feel
don't.
it.
I
feel it.
can feel it ending. I lost it. Move us on.
All right, that was it, boys and girls. We're going to end the audio podcast here. But you can stick around if you're in the live stream for the Player 3 Podcast After Party Lounge. It's a blast. But right now, we're going to go around the circle. Have you been tweeting lately? We need to have a talk.
No, but I've been tweeted about, and I consider that enough. Ben put a picture of me dropping your box
Yeah, you look real
when we were
sad.
moving. What?
We'll talk. Remind me. I'll talk to you.
Okay. All right.
But let's go around the circle. Let's do where they can find you online and what you're going to be playing this week or something that you're excited about with the week coming up.
I am Seth. Find me on PSN at Buttzors. That's BUTTZORZ, Buttzors, or on Xbox Live at Dongzors, DONGZORZ, Dongzors. Kind of got a monopoly on the whole lower body thing going on with my names. I've been playing. Everybody's gone to the Rapture. I've been playing Destiny as always. I finally finished The Walking Dead Season 1 this past week and loved it. Now I realize what everyone loved so much about that game. This week, I don't know. I'm thinking about going old school. I never got around to Far Cry 4, so I might pick that up today. Really, I'm not going to be doing too much new this week other than Until Dawn next Tuesday. Pick it up.
I'm Larry. I'm online on the Twitters at Lair Hunts Zombies, LARHUNTSZOMBIES. You can also find me on Facebook, and I won't accept your friend request because I don't know you. And I'm going to play Titanfall.
I'm actually thinking about getting rid of the old Fatchy books.
I inadvertently came into moderating one of the largest parkour groups on Facebook.
Do you even practice? Do you even parkour, bro?
Not much anymore, but I am capable of it.
Cool.
I'm Luke Croft. Find me on the Twitters at TK from Antioch. You can add me on PSN at Lodger Blackman, and you can find me on the Xbox Live at Download a Hoagie. Go follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot more lately, and that's where a lot of the Player 3 podcast stuff is going to go. We have a Player 3 podcast Twitter page, but you guys don't like Player 3 podcast. You like Seth. That's the reason you come tune in. So follow Seth on Twitter. Juice got me loose. But anyway, we are the Player 3 podcast. You can find us. Oh, what am I playing this week? Ben and I. Exciting news, guys. This is just one of the things. The whole ball is going to start rolling here on Player 3 podcast.
It's testicles. Let's be medically correct here.
Anyway, Ben and I don't know how many of you guys out there are sports game fans. Obviously, these two guys aren't because they were like, NBA what? Never even heard of this game that we're talking about right now.
I've never watched a single National Baseball Association game.
So Ben and I are going to do a special show, just kind of when it's relevant, when it's necessary, where we talk about sports games. Don't really have all the details, so go follow us on all the social media to know when that stuff's going to come. This week, we're going to get early access to Madden 16, and my goal is to play a game, either play a game or with or against every single team in the NFL. So it's going to take 16 games to do that, but then put all that up on YouTube. So if you're a fan of a particular team, you can go to Player 3 Podcast and watch a whole game of me playing with your favorite team or against your favorite team. And so, but yeah, we are the Player. That's going to happen here soon. We are the Player 3 Podcast. We get together every Monday. Find us on youtube.com/Player3Podcast. Watch us live. Twitch.tv/Player3Podcast, or listen to us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, all those places. Come back on Thursday for 3 Topic Thursday with Luke and Diz. We are the Player 3 Podcast.
Player 3 Podcast, yeah.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Happy birthday, Brucey.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
P3P.
P3P.
Pep.
All right,
Are we
welcome.
ready? Hello and welcome to the Player 3 Podcast After Party Lounge, where butt bucks.
No.
I was going with the tradition today of not finishing things.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
You got poop? Pee.
And Diz is making pee-pee in Luke's new house.
Not even in a bathroom.
The first day we moved in here, I was like, I'm peeing in a toilet that I own. And Lauren was like, that's cool. And I was like, I'm peeing in a floor that I own. All right. So there's a...
The door is open.
In the show note. He's just staring at us.
Dizzy's
The eye contact
Dizzy's
is...
just hanging dong. He looks tough right there. Like,
He's asserting his dominance over you.
and peeing in the floor. He has been missing this entire time.
You wouldn't know it.
that toilet seat's kind of clear too, so he could be making a big mess.
All right, let's see. Cybernethy asks, what's the most unusual, unexpected culture or nation that you've seen a video game draw inspiration from?
I got an answer for that immediately.
Oh.
I found it really interesting, the Dying Light. Dying Light's in like sort of a Middle Eastern place, right?
Yeah.
Like a Middle Eastern little village town. That was really interesting, and it makes sense because of the gameplay dynamic where you're kind of free running through and on rooftops and stuff like that. Yeah, they ain't got no cars in the Middle East. Ain't no way. They've all been blown up.
Welcome to racism. I guess. Oh my god.
But
whatever list you were on, you're off of it now because our government freaking loves you.
Team America. But yeah, it's really cool and it works really well. I just never would have thought for that to be in a game like that environment.
Do you have that game?
No. It's one that I'm gonna wait until it's like $10.
Do you want to buy that game? Because God knows Ben and Diz are never gonna play it with me.
Right.
You suck.
I'm trying to think of an answer to this question.
Me too.
Look, he asked a question about unusual cultures.
Well, Seth.
So who's the real racist?
Seth limited the Middle Eastern culture to blowing up cars.
Not the whole culture, but I mean,
The overwhelming majority.
that's what the news tells me. I don't know.
If there's one place where a car is more likely to explode, I got you.
Oh man.
Weird cultures.
Not weird cultures.
It's just an unusual one that they don't tell. Because, I mean, when I think about this question, I think about the first... It's not a video game, but I think about the first season of True Detective. Like, being in the bayou of Louisiana in a place where not many shows or movies are set. And, it just... the setting became a character in itself.
Right,
and
right.
I'm trying to think of a video game that really captures that as well.
Mine was Nepal.
Nepal? What game?
Far Cry 4.
Oh, Far Cry
okay,
4 in
Kirat.
Nepal.
Is that Nepal? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting also, to give you guys a little more time to think, that Destiny, their main Earth sandbox was Russia. You would think it would be like the shattered remnants of Los Angeles or something like that, but no, it's like this big old wall.
Well, the reason they didn't do that is because America is totally fine in this world, in this universe.
Okay.
Like America didn't
Okay.
get touched by the darkness.
Naturally, yeah. But but no, and I think that kind of points towards like this is the golden age of humanity. People were living for like 500 years. The Traveler's Light has blessed us in so many ways, but and then the fact that like maybe it's kind of a Star Trek thing where nationality, things like that don't really matter. We're all unified under one race.
We're so far removed from it at this point that I don't think we think of it as odd. But when Assassin's Creed came out, recasting the Crusades, it kind of I would argue that was a different way to approach it.
I was actually going to bring that up too, but I didn't want to harp too much on the Middle Eastern thing. I was going to hopefully say someone else would come in and do that for me.
I love the Crusade.
It makes sense with him free running across all the buildings because all the carriages are exploding.
Right. But Assassin's Creed, that works really for that works really well for pretty much any Assassin's Creed game because they tend to go to time periods that you don't see very often in games, like the Renaissance. How many games take place in Renaissance Italy? How many games take place in the American Revolution? How many games take place in we talked about the lack of pirate games.
Yeah.
Black Flag was a great game. That was probably, other than 2, it was my favorite Assassin's Creed game to date.
What's up, Seze 7700? I don't know how to say that.
Let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mario shed some light on the plumbing culture.
Yeah, you're right.
I wasn't aware that you could go down those pipes.
I tried it once, and they had to amputate my leg.
I thought you were going to go with a different organ there.
That's
Like
weird,
like
man.
a pipe organ.
Yeah.
One very specific.
What?
You're picking up what I'm throwing.
What are some of these other questions?
All right, moving on.
I'm excited. You said there's a lot.
Let's see.
Three's a lot?
Busy Moose.
we just got them all at once.
Busy Moose says, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" There's actually 4 questions. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Arcanine. That guy is the man. It's his dog that shoots
Arcanine's
fire.
a little girl.
And when he beat the crap out of Pikachu, when Ash went to the Indigo League, it was one of the greatest moments in television history.
Blaine's Arcanine was crazy.
Oh, Blaine had a pretty cool Arcanine.
Yeah, that was my.
I wish Ben was here because he was the,
Yeah,
the most.
no, do you? Do you? Because you remember the candy conversation
Oh,
here?
God.
There was 487 categories of candy. He'd be like, all right, what is your favorite 3-toed Pokemon? What is your favorite Pokemon that appeared on an odd-numbered
you're right.
episode?
I haven't
One day-
kept track since the 2nd generation of them, so I don't know. I want to talk to me, Larry.
I was just saying, one day we should live stream me and Ben having a Pokemon card battle.
I'm going to go Onyx because I don't know many Pokemon, but I always liked Onyx because he's just a bunch of rocks and that kind of exists. So Onyx is kind of real.
I liked Mewtwo.
'Cause
He was like
rocks
the
exist.
classic. Thanks for the follows.
Scissor 7700.
Is it?
Mewtwo, he had like that. I want to go back and watch the Pokemon movie because he had like such a Frankenstein's monster thing going on.
I've heard that if you watch that, not the English version of it, it's a lot more adult oriented.
Oh, well, so many Japanese
that's
things
a-
are. I had like a tape of a Dragon Ball Z movie. I don't know if it ever became an American movie or not, but like they go to hell, and
You know what gets real crazy? Sailor Moon.
oh, I'll bet.
Like 2 of the Sailor Scouts are lesbians, but in America they're cousins, because it wasn't cool back then. And like one of
Now they're both.
the main villains is is pretty vague on what gender they are. Lots of weirdness there. Most of the shows were way more bloody.
Yeah, more bloody, more sexualized. It's Japan's probably got a little more progressive. Well, I don't know.
A little more weird sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. They got that tentacle stuff going on.
Moving on. This is for me. This is the other random question of the week, so I'm going to ask it in the after party lounge here. What do you think is the most underutilized function of the Xbox One in the PS4? Maybe it's a feature, maybe it's a peripheral, maybe it's this is all
other than the Kinect, obviously.
Yeah, well, this is all stemming from an article about the underutilization of the touchpad that I saw on Game Informer. I think it was Game Informer that posted it.
The touchpad.
The touchpad on the PS4 controller.
Okay.
You're like, there's a touchpad on the PS4 controller.
Well,
exactly.
I was thinking like chat pad for some reason, but
So my question is, what's most underutilized, and how would you like to see it utilized?
let me just talk about my lack of research towards that touchpad when the PlayStation 4 controller was just a concept in my brain. I heard touchpad, and I'm thinking it's going to be like a touch screen. It was not that. It's still kind of cool. I like that button. It's still like some games do utilize it for swiping, like Injustice tried to do it in their campaign mode. Didn't really work as well as just like pressing the normal buttons, but whatever. Infamous used it.
How did Infamous use it?
Infamous used it. You had to go down and basically break down these like attack the people around it, and then kind of destroy these and absorb the energy from these power relays. And you would like use the pad like to kind of swipe and hold in a certain direction to lift the thing up and then soak the power up from it. But really, that is totally underutilized, I think. And a lot of games, especially games that are on both generations of consoles, it's kind of used as just like an optional select button, which it's got a lot of potential. I want to see that used more.
It's so hard with any of those kinds of things because there's a super fine line between innovative and gimmicky, and I feel like there's way more stuff that can be gimmicky. I mean, it's a lot like the 6-axis stuff.
I was gonna say 6-axis too. I was the only one of us that bought Journey, right?
Yes.
Okay. In Journey, you can use the 6-axis to kind of manipulate the camera. Which seems cool at first, but then you realize, like, all of a sudden the camera's moving on you and you're not looking where you want to go when you just got the controller in your lap and you don't really realize the position of your hands. So you're kind of fighting with the camera between your thumbsticks and the 6-axis. I don't know. It's kind of cool, and
then you have crap like Uncharted 1 where you had to use the 6-axis to throw grenades.
Right, which is okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry I cut you off.
I don't know. I didn't. It was kind of cool, but also just totally underutilized too. And everybody's gone to the Rapture when you go to those balls of light and just tilt the controller a certain way to kind of unlock this memory.
But again, that all seems like just kind of gimmicky.
Yeah, I mean, there's
nothing innovative about it.
There's still got to be some game that's gonna make me say, "Yeah, like that's what this is there for." I haven't seen it yet.
Larry?
I don't know. This is connected to the Kinect, but it doesn't have to be. Like, they could do it through the microphone, but the voice controls. I don't know a lot of people use them, but I take great joy in eating hot wings and not having to take my hand off of my wings to control my television. But then I would have liked to have seen more voice controls actually in-game as well. Like, instead of me having to mash some button combination, me being like, tighten, eject, and then I just pop out and you blow up.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Beautiful.
I would take that up to the PlayStation also. Basically, everything PlayStation does is underutilized. They have so much potential. Because, again, I do think that that's the superior gaming console. I'm going to see how Larry would react to that. But
I zoned out. I'll be honest with you. What'd you say?
He called the PS4 the superior console.
No, whatevs. You're just a PS fanboy.
Yes, but I have both of them. I still love my Xbox too. But
yeah, right.
The PlayStation camera, if that were just a little bit more connecty, I would love that thing. As it is now, I really don't use it.
Do you have one still?
Yeah. I'm not trading it in because I know that as soon as I trade it in, I'm going to be like, I want to start streaming every day.
Well, and all of these things are... all of those PlayStation peripherals are going to come together when Project Morpheus comes out.
Right.
You know, the Move and the camera and...
maybe that 6-axis.
6-axis, who knows? Well, the 6-axis, definitely. They were doing that, the horror experience. They were talking about it on Beyond, how they had to have their hands on the controller.
Oh, yeah,
because they were bound together, and when you moved it, you know, that light bar
Right.
Is something.
Okay, something to look forward to.
In the playroom, I think that light bar is a really cool idea. In the playroom, in combination with the 6-axis, you can move it around and it lights different areas of the room. That would be something cool to do in a game when I'm exploring a room.
Thank you to Cybernethy.
Hey, what's that?
Oh
mean?
gosh, that means Cybernethy donated $15 to us.
Holy crap, Cybernathy.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Cybernethy.
I'm gonna build you a plaque.
Are you? What's he gonna say?
I don't know how to make plaques.
What's he gonna say? Oh, we can make a plaque, dude. Hold on.
I want it to have lots of alliteration. Cybernathy.
Subatomic. That starts with an S.
Spaceman.
Oh, you're gonna make an acrostic poem?
Yeah. Always.
Oh no, I was just gonna alliterate all the S words
Oh, okay.
except for the offensive ones.
Naturally.
Well, mostly because they don't alliterate with
So, can we tell them what's first on our list of things to buy with donations and such? Or are you keeping that secret right now?
What's that?
Can we tell them what their money's going toward real quick?
Yeah.
What's next? What's our next purchase?
Well, our next purchase is going to be getting these things out of our face.
Some lapel mics.
That's my goal, is to get us some lapel mics so that we can just kind of sit back like this.
And we can make out, and you can hear the sounds.
My back would love that.
Yeah, because leaning forward is kind of stinky. But his tip says, the dream team of Twitch, game developers, and gaming talk show. I do what I can to bring the two groups together and help each other prosper. Is that what what the tip says, or is that his profile?
Is that your profile, Cybernethy?
No, I think
Cybernethy. I've been saying it with an A. My bad.
Either way, it's a cool idea.
Wait, Stream Tip has now gone free. For more information, check updates. But sorry,
We are sidetracked.
yeah, I'm very distracted. Thank you for the tip, though, Cybernethy.
Thank you.
That isn't just money that we blow on whatever.
I keep
On
trying
blow.
I keep trying to get my cut, and they won't give it to me.
No, we're not.
No.
We'll give it to you. But no, we want to improve the quality of the stream, so we're going to be doing. We have some more exciting news that's coming down the pipeline. That's going to be in way more content for you guys, and way more awesomeness of us getting to hang out and talk about video games and talk about just a lot of random stuff.
And then maybe one day we can quit our jobs.
Maybe one day. So I'm excited, and we want to. We have fun just doing this. And if we didn't have fun just doing it, we wouldn't do it. But having people that come in and chat with us and ask questions, that's really cool. And Cybernethy said that is my message. And so I'm sorry. Let me read that. The dream team of Twitch, game developers and gaming talk shows. I do what I can to bring the two groups together and help each other prosper. So he's just trying to help us as a gaming talk show.
And that's the dream. We appreciate that,
Yeah,
Cybernethy.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Distracted 3 podcast. I think we're ready to get out of here.
Wait, there's one more viewer question, right?
Oh, what is, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually two. Empty Vials asks about the Destiny getting rid of the light levels. We kind of touched on that a little bit earlier.
A little bit. I mean, we have sort of vague ideas. The kind of what people seem to be thinking right now is that there was it on the show last week that Ben and I were talking about potentially getting dropped down, like maybe
Yes.
maybe Oryx coming in and stripping you of your light level. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe you might get dropped a little bit, but I think they're going to do this in a way that they're not going to make you that mad. They rely on money.
Can I speculate on how that comes into?
Wild speculation!
Now
Yes.
this is potential spoiler hat going back to when there were all these leaks involving what Destiny's story was supposed to be. Remember, originally, you were gonna. Now, if you care about the story of Destiny, this may still happen, so you may want to earplug yourself. But
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going for.
that you find out in this twist that the Traveler is actually evil and brought about the darkness. I wonder if your loss of light level is connected to that, because you draw your light from the Traveler, right?
Yeah, it could be maybe in the long game, but
The long con.
in the long run, I would think that Oryx, since he's like this all power, like you take on Crota in the most recent raid, and of course Oryx is his father, so he's just like this all powerful super god, this interdimensional being, kind of like Zordon. In the new Destiny Taken King expansion, you fight Zordon.
5 teenagers with attitude.
Right. But they're basically what they're saying is that your light level will not be as relevant. You're going for more of a traditional MMO experience based on experience leveling. But your light level is also going to play into this game still somehow. So it's not going to be all not worthwhile. It's going to change in a lot of different ways, but this game is, like we always say, constantly evolving. It's going to be a very different thing every year. So I'm really excited to see what year 2 has, regardless of what kind of potential setbacks they have for us. It's going to be another challenge for you to get over.
All right.
Hold on, I'm trying to find out some information. Do you remember when Metal Gear Solid Online was coming?
It's
October 12th. It's October something. It was in last week's show.
Yeah,
notes.
it is in October.
The single greatest month of the year. BT Dubs.
BT Dubs. What was it? What was last week? The 10th? And we'll tell you just in a moment, then we're going to get out of here. We're going to go eat some grub.
But there's one more question.
Oh, what is your favorite country that is not your home country?
Australia. I love the Amer-Australian Alliance.
That was throwback.
The best Reddit moment in history.
It lasted all of 20 minutes.
It was great, though. I'm still subbed to r/Amer-Australia, and I upvote every single post there, regardless of what it says. So if you want some upvotes, you go post to Amer-Australia. I'll give them to you. For freedom.
Let's see. How about you, Seth? I've never traveled. I've been to Mexico.
I've never been out of the country. I don't know. I would want to say, like, England.
You have a great English accent, too, according to Zephyr Baby.
Oh, thank you, Zephyr. Thank you, Zephyr Baby. I really appreciate that. I do.
Unlike Ben.
I'm a David Danny. October 6th is Metal Gear Solid Online.
So Metal Gear Solid 5 will be releasing on October 6th.
Yes.
One day before Diz was released from his mother's womb.
He came out like this.
God.
We'll reenact it on that day. Live. Ow! I bit my tongue.
And that means you guys like a water hose are wrapped around my throat.
Oh.
Were you breach?
I was born with the umbilical cord around my throat. I was blue.
Oh, wait, that's not breach. Breach just means you go feet first. Did you go feet first?
No, I wasn't breathing. I was a smurf.
So you were like Danny DeVito. you came out just swinging. Oh,
so you've had a pinata at every birthday. Get it?
I get it. I don't know what my favorite country outside of my home country is. I've never
Canada.
been anywhere. How can I say it's my favorite
Just
place?
pick
I've never
Australia
been?
because of the Amer-Australian Alliance. I've never been out of this country. This glorious country.
Oh,
America.
Australia's a continent, dude. You idiot.
Or Japan.
My favorite.
Japan.
Yeah. Them's good people.
I tore.
People. I just want to have like a. I just want to have.
His favorite is North Korea.
I just
North
wanna,
Korea is best Korea.
I just want to have a Lost in Translation experience over there. Meet Scarlett Johansson. It doesn't have to be Scarlett Johansson.
In Japan?
It has to be Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Cybernetic
You never seen that
is-
movie?
No. Who else is in it? Is
Bill
Bill
Murray.
Murray in it?
Bill Murray.
I didn't know she was in it too. I'll have to
The
go see
opening
this.
shot of this movie
Oh no.
is no. It's just Scarlett Johansson sleeping butt in some see-through panties.
What?
I don't know. I didn't do it. That's Sofia Coppola.
I thought when you said Lost in Translation experience, I thought you meant you wanted to go to Japan and have a horrible misunderstanding. My martial arts teacher tells this story. One of the first times he went to Japan and didn't know the language very well, he went to the store to ask for directions. And when he came out, all these people were laughing at him, and he realized that he'd walked into this awkward sex shop. And they're like, oh, look at the perverted foreigner. I thought that's what you were shooting for.
No.
Empty Vial says, "Whoa, what movie are you talking about? Because I need to steer clear of that." What was the exact thing?
That's terrible. Who would do that? Like, what website exactly?
But which one? There's so many. Lost in Translation. Right.
Lost in Translation. Pick it up. That's one of my favorite movies.
And I've decided that my favorite country outside of my home country, and probably even more than my home country, is the USSR. Is that still a thing?
Now you're
I'm
back on the
pulling
list. Now you're back on the list.
I'm pulling for him. All right, Seth's telephone number.